What the hell's going on, people? This is Periodic, and you see the title of the video. We are jumping back into Dragonball Z Dokkan Battle in order to discuss a lot of leaked information from Bandai Namco's straight-up incompetence.
I shut it down wherever power is stored. Being real is in the past, watching cowards get on. It ain't kill me, so it's making me stronger. And these bite-sized rappers now sense in my home.
So, let's take a look at Kawhi's tweet here, which is just, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, right when you're like global can't screw up anymore, they make this huge error. And essentially what they did is when they pushed the latest update for global, they forgot to keep all of their internal data private. Yeah. And so all of the data miners were able to find all of this information and look through it. Now, a lot of it is going to be nonsensical because it's going to be like internal jargon that you're really not going to understand. It's going to be like numbers that don't really have much meaning, but obviously with whatever system they're using to code, they're going to understand it. So it's not as much data as we would like, but it does confirm a few things. So this is Kawhi's tweet. For those who have not seen, Akatsuki made a huge blunder during the last update and probably forgot to hide the private tables of the database. So we have access to a certain amount of information to which we should never have had access. And honestly, this information to me is not necessarily game breaking, and it's not necessarily exploity. You can't really use this information to like hack the game or whatever. So I guess if they want to keep their information private, it is what it is, but it doesn't really like affect the gameplay or anything like that. So let's go over what they did. So we're going to jump over to Hydros's Twitter. The homie Hydros plays. Definitely follow this man, because he's always providing a ridiculous amount of information regarding Dokkan Battle and working on a lot of side projects. So this guy sacrifices a ridiculous amount of time for free for everybody. So Global Dokkan has removed all the stuff we were able to see in the database, such as the rarity, weights. This is an accidental thing, of course. New updated database confirms that basically. We still have the info, of course. So he's just pretty much saying that we still got the info, but they got rid of the access to it. So if you've copied it down, then you're good, but it's gone now. And that pretty much confirms that it was a screw up. 100% confirms it was a screw up. So this is super interesting. So the first tweet was, "This is my best guess on the link level calculations. There's a lot of factors like characters, number of links per character, number of enemies spawned when stages started for chances to gain level ups. This is rough, but the most I can make sense of it right now." And before we look at it, he says this is not exact database info. This is not exact. Database info is just a bit more to go off of with link levels, but this is definitely not exactly done. Just an example of my thought process behind some of it, at least. So, meaning he has some of the information to be able to make an educated guess, but he cannot confirm 100% that this is exactly how the formula works. So this is the calculation that Hydros came up with. And just keep in mind that he only has certain data to be able to calculate this. He doesn't have the full picture, and that's why he came up with that follow-up tweet. Because we still don't know if stamina effect, like how much stamina you're using, affects the link level calculations. People think it does, but they don't necessarily have a confirmation. You also don't know, for example, if using certain characters boosts. Yeah, like we just don't know if using certain items increases. There is no information. So this is essentially his best guess as to off of every single enemy you're facing. I believe at the bottom is the percentage. So 13.8334%, one of six. So meaning 6 links. So if it's a character with 6 links, it's a 13.8334% chance for one of them to level up. And then if it's 7 links, it's a 11.8571% for one of them to level up from 1 to 2. And I believe that's per Saiyaman you're fighting. So you're going to have a pretty darn good chance that you're going to get link level 1 to 2 going up. So that is the probability and not the because here's the thing. I think he actually, is this it right here? No, he actually put a number up. So here's the thing. He actually posted the picture that showed the rates, that showed the probability, but it wasn't the percentage chance. So like 1 to 2 showed 80 probability, but it's not saying that you have an 80% chance, on that one stage to be able to get it. It's a little bit different like that, and the math gets a little bit wonky. And honestly, I kind of get lost on it. But so just take this as like a guideline, but not necessarily something that you should follow as gospel. Because even Hydros is saying that this is not 100%. Please don't pretend it is. Next up, so here's a piece of the gacha rarity, which is pretty crazy, and he's able to. This is actually insane. So it shows the weight and the probability, right? The rarity of each cards. So again, we're kind of seeing a little peek behind the curtain of Akatsuki and how they operate and what they call different things. So, for example, the rarity of a card, right? 3, 1, 2, 2. The ID of the cards, 37, 38. The ID in the actual banner, 12, 13, 13. And then the weight, 125, 7,800, 2,200. So it pretty much makes it where he has an Excel spreadsheet, and it's showing the probability, the chances that you're going to pull a unit. And at the end of the day, rates of Dokkan Battle aren't rigged, at least in terms of the database numbers we're able to see, thanks to their mess up, giving us data that we weren't meant to see. But the calculations add up. The rates are as advertised. So essentially, he's saying that all of the data that he saw on those Excel spreadsheets, all of those weights, all of the rarity, if you kind of match it up and say, okay, this is what that means, and the weight is just this mathematically, and blah, 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 and let's compare it to what they say with 5% featured rate, 10% chance, blah, 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 it all lines up accordingly. It all makes perfect sense. It's all fine. And then finally, this is the actual picture I wanted to show you earlier with the probability. So 80 probability, 50, 30, 20, 10, 9, 7, 5, 3. And again, just looking at these numbers, you would think like, 80% chance at level 1 and a 3% chance at 9 to 10. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. A lot more math is involved. How many enemies are on the stage? How many are you going to miss out on? How much stamina is being used? Does that even affect it? Et cetera, et cetera. So the probability is a lot different than what this is actually showing. This is just a piece of the puzzle, just a small piece. And, we kind of have to tie in the rest, I guess. And yeah, so that's pretty much everything at the moment in regards to this screw up on Akatsuki's part, on Bandai Namco's part, on Global Dokkan's part. And I mean, who else would have messed this up besides Global? Japan wouldn't have. There's no way, no how. They always get it right. So just fun information that you can look at it. This confirms 100%. No, there aren't YouTuber rates, even though I'm joking about it. But I just wish there was. Anyway, if you want to see more videos like this and summoning videos and collabs and all that fun stuff, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You can click that blue join button, become a member like Joe V and Wolverine Gaming, Or you can do the free-to-play way. Go ahead and gently rub that sub button, gingerly ring that bell button, lovingly kiss the like button. As always, this is Periodic. See y'all in the next video.